Welcome to GFT, Galactic Figure Talk, a podcast about Star Wars and Star Wars action figure collecting.
Awesome, yeah!
The reason they're 3¼ inches tall is because the first mock-up figures that I made were Fisher-Price Adventure People.
I will freeze your body in carbonite forever, Han Solo! Not so fast!
We finally launched 6-inch when I felt the time was right. We needed a new spark.
We started selling all of the action figures through the fan club, and our most successful was the Cantina Band. That was enormously one of the best-selling items we've ever sold through the fan club.
Whoa! Darth Vader!
I used my nephew as a hand model on the Wampa box. He's the one with the little hand that's in there.
It's Kenner's new Star Wars action figures. Now, welcome your host, Chris B.
Welcome to another episode of GFT Galactic Figure Talk. My name's Chris B. I'm your host, and on this episode, I want to talk about this morning's live stream that Hasbro held on their Hasbro Pulse YouTube channel, where they showed new figures from the Vintage Collection and the Black Series 6-inch line. So yeah, let's dive into it and let's talk about it. Alright, so this morning Hasbro held their second live stream this month for new Star Wars action figure products, and you heard me say it on the podcast before. I thought that the May the 4th live stream that they held was a completely missed opportunity. They had entirely ignored the Mandalorian and Grogu movie, not showing a single figure from the movie, not even acknowledging that there's a movie coming out, and it felt completely off, especially with all the eyeballs on this live stream for Star Wars Day. And you know, they showed great figures, don't get me wrong, but the timing just felt completely off. So they held another live stream this morning after the movie is now out, and they showed some products, some additional products from the movie for the 3¾ inch and the 6-inch line. So I want to go over that with you guys. And they started out with a recap, and they talked about Devin Isara from the Maul Shadowlord TV show, which we've seen this figure before, so there is no surprises. Nothing too exciting here. And then they started going into the newer stuff, and they showed Hera Syndulla from season 1 of Star Wars Rebels. And I'm glad they're making her, you know, especially for people who backed the Ghost HasLab. That was a requested figure from a lot of people, and I think that's going to make a lot of people happy. But again, I have to question the timing for this reveal, because we just have a weekend behind us with The Mandalorian and Grogu. So why are you showing Hera Syndulla now in this live stream, right? So then let's move on to the second figure, which is a repack of the Sand Trooper from the Special Action Figure 3-pack that's come out last year. So they're repackaging this one on a new card pack that we haven't gotten before. Yeah, we know this is a good-looking figure. I don't think it does have the barbell jointed hip that a lot of people want, but it is still a beautiful Stormtrooper figure. It's also weathered, has some dirt on it, and especially if you didn't want to buy multiple of the 3-packs, who wants to do that at $60 a pop? But this is your opportunity to pick up multiple of the Sand Trooper, because this is going to be single carded. But again, you have to wonder what's going on here with this live stream. You have 3 figures in for 3¾ inch, and none of them is from this new Star Wars movie that just came out this past weekend. It feels, the timing just feels completely off to me. And then finally, they started to show figures from the movie after that. And they're doing Embo, and the figure looks phenomenal. Really nice looking, a realistic version, of course, of the animated character, and it looks great. Comes with multiple weapons, also has different hands included, and has a removable hat. So this one really does look phenomenal. Has a combination of soft goods and hard plastic, which is really good looking. No complaints here. This is definitely among some of the coolest figures that they've shown in recent memory. And then right after Embo, they showed the Mercenary droid, which is basically a newly sculpted super battle droid, but weathered and dirty looking based on the Mandalorian and Grogu movie. This looks really cool. It's got this strap around it and some pouches, and it's got a cape hanging on the back. It is not a soft goods cape, it's a soft plastic one, but it still looks really, really nice. And then the final TVC figure that they showed today was Zeb Orrelios in his New Republic pilot outfit and the blue jumpsuit that he's wearing. Comes as a deluxe release at $27.99, I think it is, for one 3 3/4 inch figure. But it is really nice looking. The weapon's got multiple colors on it. The details are all there that you want on the vest. The hair looks good. The entire figure looks really good, from what I could tell. And so there you have it. That was it for 3 3/4 inch figures. So they showed a total of 6 figures, and out of those 6, only 3 were from the new Star Wars movie. Just the timing feels so off for 3 3/4 inch. Out of 6 figures, only 3 are from the new Star Wars movie that just came out this past weekend. That feels off. One figure that we already knew that was coming that they had shown previously, and then one is a straight repack on a new card back, and then Hera Syndulla, which pretty sure for this figure there's also heavy reuse from the one that they released for the HasLab Hera Syndulla. Again, the figures look great. The timing just feels off. It's just not enough. People are hyped now for this movie. Where's Rada the Hutt? Where are the twins? Where are the Uncellans? Where are the speeder that the Uncellans and Grogu rode together? Where's the Uncellan starship that they've put out in Actionverse? Where's that for TVC? That's the kinds of stuff that we want to see. And then we can get into details like some of the creatures in the arena that Rada the Hutt fought. We got to start talking about that stuff because that was really, really cool stuff. But again, nothing shown here for the world building aspect here for this movie. Now let's talk about the Black Series line though. They showed IG-11 for the Black Series line. They showed the Snow Trooper. They showed the Mercenary Guard droid. They showed Embo. They showed Zeb Orrelios. And they showed Grogu at the very end. So again, 6 figures for Black Series, just like they've done for TVC. So the same amount of figures, with the biggest difference being that the Black Series figures are all based on the Mandalorian universe, right? The movie that everyone's hyped about. Whereas TVC, it's just not the case. So for Black Series though, IG-11 is interesting because he does feature the brown style packaging, and he is number 46 in the lineup of Mandalorian figures from the TV show. And there are some images floating around online of IG-11 actually being featured in the Mandalorian and Grogu movie. There's this image of him standing next to Rada the Hutt and Mando in front of his house on Nevarro, but apparently that did not make it into the movie. So I think that that's probably why they chose him to be in this wave, and that's probably why they had to change the coloring up on the box as well, because it's not the blue color that we have for the movie, it's the brown color, and so he still fits into the Mandalorian universe. So I think this is a really cool looking figure. Then we get a look at the Snow Trooper. 3 3/4 inch collectors already have this in their collections, but now they're doing it for 6 inch. This is different than the Snow Trooper that they've done in Black Series previously. Comes with a different helmet as well, so you get a whole bunch of different varieties out of this release. Comes with different weapons as well, and again, this is a beautiful update to the Black Series Snow Trooper that they've already released previously. But it looks really, really sharp. But where it gets really cool, for me personally, is the Mercenary Guard droid. That's kind of like the B1 battle droid head that has a bunch of additional sensors added to it. Plus, it's got some HK vibes going with the legs. And this is really cool looking. It's got the soft goods cape hanging over the shoulder. It comes with a battle staff. Comes with a droid blaster. This feels new. And it looks really, really cool. So I'm really excited about this one. And then they're doing Embo in the Black Series line. Very cool looking. Just quite interesting is that they went with a plastic skirt, comma type thing. Whereas with the vintage collection, they mix it up. They have a mix of, plastic parts and soft goods, whereas this is not the case here. This is all plastic looking, but very cool looking. And you also, with the bigger scale, you do get more details out of it, or you get to see at least the details more because it's a bigger size overall. And from what they've showed on the live stream today, this is very, very cool looking. And then they showed Zeb Aurelius. Yeah, no complaints here. Very cool looking. If you've picked up the Star Wars Rebels version of Zeb in the Black Series line previously, you know that this is a really, really cool figure. So seeing him here in the New Republic outfit in the blue jumpsuit, very cool looking. Seems to have the appropriate height as well. So he's about a head, or 1.5 heads taller than Mando himself. And no complaints here. Good looking stuff. Now, they've also revealed Grogu as coming in its own individual box. They've done this previously. I think it's going back to 2019 or 2020 where they've done that. They've done this twice, actually. They've done these small boxes, once for Grogu and once for the Pork 2-pack. And so they're reviving that concept here for this release. And I think it's cool. If this is $10, and that's the rumor that that's $10, I think I'm okay with that. They did mention that Grogu is sculpted. He's a little taller now, finally, because the Black Series versions we've gotten so far, they've all been severely underscaled. And this actually does feel more appropriately scaled. It does have the silver armor on the chest. It does come with a fish, comes with the walking stick that he has in the movie. And he does come with some of the cookies as well. Some of the macarons that he was eating. I'm liking this, especially like the price point. If you remember, they've sold us a Black Series Grogu figure with the Pram previously for full price. Seeing that they're now doing what they've done previously for $10, I think this is going to do really well at retail. I think a lot of people are going to pick this one up. Cool stuff all around, I think, for Black Series. Yeah, and then the one thing that they've revealed at the end was that all these larger figures, all of them except for Grogu, are also going to get a re-release in first edition white boxes, which then brings the white boxes for first editions for 2026 up to 10. So IG-11, the Snowtrooper, the Mercenary Guard Droid, Embo, and Zeb Aurelius are all going to see a first edition white box release. I think that the white boxes of Embo and Zeb are going to do exceptionally well. I think people are really hyped for those two characters. Pre-orders are going to go live for everything that they showed today except for that Grogu figure on May 28th, 2026 at 1 o'clock East Coast time. And as always, I'll have the links up on galacticfigures.com. So, to sum it up, how do I personally feel about what Hasbro's done today in the live stream? I said it previously, but the stuff that they show always looks good, for the most part. Like, it's 95, 99% great stuff, and just fantastic stuff overall. But what feels off is just the timing with what they show and how they release it. Everybody I talked to over this weekend is about Rod of the Hutt. Where is Rod of the Hutt? They're doing it in Actionverse. They got to do it in TVC or in Black Series, right? Nope. But hey, Sideshow is doing it too. Yep, Hasbro. Nope, Hasbro shows you a Sand Trooper. And Hasbro shows you a character from the Maul TV show, which they've shown us before. And they come out with Season 1 Harrison Dulla when there's just a Star Wars movie that is in theaters for the first weekend in like 7 years. And everyone's hyped about the movie. And they just show stuff for 3/4 inch that's from different media entertainments. Very disappointing in that regards, right? Where are the Imperial Warlords? Where's Rod of the Hutt? Where are the twins? Where are the Ancellans? Where are the Ancellin speeder that they rode together with Grogu? I mean, that's a tiny vehicle. That should be easy to pull off. It should be somewhat reasonably priced, I think. You're doing the Ancellin Starship for the Actionverse line. Holy cow. But why can't you do that for your collectors community that's fully engaged in this stuff? It's beyond me. The Battle Droid comes with the stab, for example, the Sideshow version. Why is there no stab for Black Series or for TVC? I mean, for Black Series, be easy. You could just repaint the one that you have. And then the dog is missing from Embo. He's always seen with his dog. He's with the dog in the movies and with his dog in the Clone Wars. I think there's two different ones. There's Kaibu and Marok, right? There's opportunity to do a little bit more for the fan base. And it's a movie year. Your budget is higher, right? For Star Wars in a movie year. Where is this stuff? So, I don't know, when I talk to fellow collectors, it's always about, and I'm not talking about casual collectors. I mean, people who are really into this stuff. And we typically leave a little disappointed with what Hasbro is showing. And it's not that the product is bad. It's just that the timing feels off with those reveals. And it is better for Black Series than it is for 3 3/4 inch. With 3 3/4 inch, they kind of have this approach that it's always about everything Star Wars, right? Whereas Black Series, you do have that as well, but you do get these focused. You do get a focus when there's new media entertainment coming out. Because when Skeleton Crew came out, they had Skeleton Crew figures ready. The Acolyte comes out, they have Acolyte figures ready. This is how it's supposed to be, and they understand that that's how it's supposed to be. But for some reason, with 3 3/4 inch, I don't know what they've been doing for years and years and years now, but they're just not getting it right. Okay? The majority of people is interested in new 3 3/4 inch stuff. 6 figures shown today, and only 3 are from the movie. To me, that is just not the right approach. It just isn't. You really have people hyped about this right now, and I don't know, show us Rada the Hutt with his 8-pack or 10-pack or however many muscles he's got, Put the massage droids with him. Do something cool, Show us a man and warrior. Where are the playsets? Put the arena playset, the Djarik arena out there. It's a circle. You only have to design half and then double that design, and you have a circle design, and put the walls around it so we can have some figures to put inside there. How many creatures were there? 5, 6? Maybe a few more. But come on, there is opportunity. I don't know, man. We're looking at TVC. When I look at TVC, you're seeing a repack with the Sand Trooper, another figure that they've shown already. I don't know how much reuse there is on Hera. I have not had the chance yet to compare her to what they've done for the version that came with the HasLab Ghost. But I'm pretty sure it's probably 80% of reuse on that figure. Hasbro, you got to do more. You're not hungry enough anymore. Your competition is waiting for you. Companies like Sideshow, they got it figured out. Companies like Blockies even. New companies coming into the market now. And that's where I'm going to wrap up this episode of GFT. But you guys understand where I'm coming from, right? Like, the stuff that they show is always great. And I understand they cannot always show stuff from everything Star Wars that interests us. Because we have so many different shows now. We all have our favorites. They cannot satisfy all of us. I get it. But come on, for a new Star Wars movie out there, repaint your X-Wing fighter and put Sigourney Weaver in there. And fix the wings while you're at it. You gotta do more than just show us 3 figures the weekend after. I feel like they could do more. And that's where I'm gonna wrap up this episode of GFT. Thank you guys for listening. Make sure to check out galacticfigures.com for the latest pre-order links, all the press images and press info that comes through. And I'll catch you on the next one.
This is it.